Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass. Now today I'm going to be starting a brand new segment of Android game reviews here on the channel. Now because I'm starting this new series today, I'm going to be giving you two games for one. Now they're quite similar but also very different. So, let's take a look. Okay guys, now there's a lot of games available in the Play Store that are based off of movies and also AAA games. Now today we're going to be looking at two of them from the Hitman series, Hitman GO and also Hitman Sniper. Now Hitman GO is a turn-based puzzle game with beautifully rendered diorama style set pieces. It has challenging puzzles that put your assassination skills to the test, and the best thing about it is completely free on the Play Store. Next up, we're taking a look at Hitman Sniper. Now in this game you take on the role of Agent 47 in a fixed position shooting game set in the beautiful Montenegro. Now it's an immersive sniping game based in the Hitman universe, and it's available in the Play Store for $3.99. Now I'm going to have links to both of these games in the description down below, and now we're going to be looking at the gameplay for each of these games. So first we're going to be looking at Hitman GO, which is unlike anything I've played before. Now if you've been keeping up to date with what's been going on at E3, you'll know that a Tomb Raider GO game is coming out very soon from the same developer, Square Enix. Now the great thing about this game is it's basically board games in a immersive strategy game. Now I've never really seen anything like this before, and as you can see there's a bunch of levels to go through, including some classic ones from Hitman 2 and also Hitman Absolution. Now you can see here that you've got the map of the different levels that you can actually go through, and each one is played out on a board style game, and you can pick each individual level, and you can also go back and replay levels that you've had before to get the highest score possible. And the actual boards themselves differ quite a lot. You can see here that this one is based in a nighttime setting in a big mansion, whereas the previous one, and the one that I'm going to be showing you gameplay from today, is set in basically a beach resort and with some tennis courts and things, so it's a very different scenario that we're going to be looking at. Now I'm going to be starting off with only level 3 just to give you guys a feel for the actual game itself. So as you can see here, the graphics themselves are extremely nice. Now it's a very simple graphic style, but something that I can really appreciate is the attention to detail. So you've got the clothes of people, and because they are actually game pieces, they do look like they're made out of some sort of plastic and things, and just in general the actual movement is really nice. Now you swipe up, down, left and right to actually move your character, and you need to get to the end goal to get level complete. So as you can see, that level was quite easy. Now I'm going to move on to level 5, and you'll see that there's a guard in the way. Now you do get some obstacles in the way throughout the levels, and you've got certain things that you can actually use to your advantage. So as you can see here, there's a set of rocks just over here behind these bushes. So what I'm going to do is go up to the rocks, and it's going to give you 4 different points to actually throw the rocks to distract the guard. Now players and guards only move one space at a time, so you'll see when I move, he moves, I move again, he moves again, so again that brings a strategy to the game as well. Now in some of the later levels you do also need to collect certain briefcases to get some bonuses in the game, and there's also trapdoors and things which also expand the levels to make them a bit more challenging. Now I've only got to the second board game in a series of around 7 or 8 different board games to choose from, and it does get progressively harder, but there are certain things that you can use to your advantage just to make the game slightly easier. So what I'm going to go do now is just finish off this level and go to a harder level just to show you some of the things that you've got that can actually help you if you do get stuck on some of the later levels. So what I'm going to do now is go on to level 13, which I'm currently stuck on at the moment, to give you guys an example of what you can do to help yourself out. Now as you can see here, this one has a lot more to do. You can see there's a lot more guards. The briefcase is right in the center of the map which you need to get access to. Now in the bottom right hand corner you can click on the button here, and it actually guides you through the game itself. Now keep in mind that these are limited and you don't get unlimited tries at this, but as you can see from this example, the game does get very complex, and it will take a number of tries to actually get the rhythm right, as that's kind of what it's all about with this game. You need to get the path of where the enemies are going, and also where you can get some of the distractions as well that actually help and aid you in the game. Now some of them, like I say, can get very complicated at times, but if you do get used to the gameplay style and also what things do and don't do, it can make it a bit easier. Now this one here, I did actually use the help button the whole way through just to give you guys an example of exactly how it works. As you can see here, once you get to the end, you do get to complete the level, but you don't get some of the additional bonuses like completing it in a certain amount of turns or collecting the briefcase for some bonus points. Now there's not really too much in terms of settings in the game. It's very minimal in terms of sound design, and also you can change the quality of the graphics from high to low, and also if you do want to get some of the more advanced levels quicker, you can pay to get those, but keep in mind it's going to be 69p per board game, so the cost can add up eventually. But if you do want to get access to some of those exclusive levels from Hitman 2 and also Hitman Absolution, then you've got the option to do so if you want to. We're now going to be looking at Hitman Sniper, which is a completely different game, although it is kind of similar in the fact that you are still doing things silently, and you don't really want anyone to know that you're there. Now, one thing that I would say is the graphic style is completely different as well. The graphics in Hitman Sniper go for an ultra realistic look and feel, and for some reason the menus here on my Moto X 2014 do go very slow, but the graphics themselves and the gameplay is very easy, and it's also really smooth. Now, you've got a bunch of different weapons to choose from, as well as different assassination levels, and those assassination levels, once you get the intel on certain people, actually allow you to then find parts for new sniper rifles, which you can then purchase and upgrade so you can improve things like the fire rate, stability, clip size, and also the maximum zoom of the scope that you've got on top. Now, one thing that I am happy about is the progression of the sniper rifles. You do get intel on different people very quickly, allowing you to unlock different sniper rifles. However, if you do want to buy some additional rifles, there's two in the game that you can purchase. One is around £4 here in the UK, and the other is around £7. Now, keep in mind, guys, if you do go to a second-hand game store, you're going to be able to pick up some awesome Hitman games like the HD Trilogy and also Hitman Absolution for roughly around the same sort of price. So it is completely up to you if you do want to spend some in-game money, but there are better things you can spend your money on, like a fully fledged AAA title like Hitman Absolution for roughly around the same sort of price. Now, I'm not sure how many levels there actually are in the game itself, but I'm at the moment on chapter 3 on mission 1 of 20, and there's around 10 to 20 missions within each chapter, so there's a lot of gameplay here. Now, the one thing that I would say is there is only one map available. Now, that's definitely a disappointment as you are paying for the game, and there are also in-app purchases, but there's only one level to choose from. Now, it does mix it up with different objectives throughout the actual game itself, but it is a bit disappointing as you get to learn kind of where people are, and it does make the game a bit easier to get those higher scores that you actually need to complete the game. So as I mentioned, guys, the graphics in this game are ultra realistic and look completely different to Hitman GO. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, as I do appreciate games like this that do have really good graphics on mobile, as it kind of just pays off a bit more if you are paying for the game itself. I don't mind the fact that Hitman GO is free and that this costs a bit more in terms of money, as it looks to me like a bit more has gone into the presentation than what it did in Hitman GO. Now, the gameplay itself is very simple. All you need to do is tap on the screen where you want to aim. So if I want to aim in the bottom of the screen, I tap there and he zooms in straight away. And you can then pinch to zoom and tap in the actual reticle, and then you can shoot the guys that you need to. Now, there are different objectives throughout the game itself. So you need to, for instance, score a high score, use certain objectives to actually kill enemies, like if you set off a car alarm to draw an enemy closer and then shoot them, you get additional points for things like that as well. So there is a lot of strategy that goes in the actual game itself. Now, there are also main bosses that you have to kill, and if you kill them a number of times, you start to get better intel on them, which then gives you access to those better parts for your sniper rifle. You do also get some additional things that you can use, like Instinct, which I'm using now, which allows you to see certain things in the world that you can shoot to explode. For instance, like here you've got this thing that's on fire, which is obviously a heater. If I was to shoot that, it's going to cause a bit of an explosion, and you can also see where enemies are as well, and also different things around the environment that you can use to your advantage. You've also got certain things like unlimited ammo and also faster bullets, which definitely come in handy, because one of the objectives in this game, which I had a lot of trouble with, is getting a headshot on a moving target, which can take a little bit of time and practice, but once you get it down, it's very satisfying. But just in general, the gameplay itself is really good. Now, one thing that I would say as well is it does take a bit of getting used to, but you don't really need to worry about the bullets and things all that much. The ballistics in the game aren't necessarily the most realistic, so you don't have to worry about wind speed or anything like that. Once you shoot the bullet, it's pretty sure going to hit the target that you're aiming at that specific time. Now, as you can see here, this guy's just found a dead body. He's a bit suspicious, so I need to get rid of him before he calls in any backup. So again, you can do that, get the shot in, and then you're pretty much set. Now, it's quite easy to get rid of people that have actually discovered things. Now, once you've done that, you then get a clear sign at the top of the screen, meaning that you're not going to get any more enemies coming after you. Now, this guy here is the primary target, and once you shoot him, you only get 10 seconds to finish all the objectives in the game. So the best thing to do is to finish as many objectives as you can, and also not to actually cause any problems or anything, because then he will run away and you will lose the game. Now, when you actually finish a mission, you can see here that you do get a score based on a lot of different things, so you don't have to really worry about it all that much. As long as you get the score that's needed, you're pretty much set. And as I mentioned, the progression to get different sniper rifles is quite easy, and as you can see here, I got some more intel, getting me one step closer to that perfect rifle. And that's pretty much going to do it, guys. So today we've had a look at Hitman GO and also Hitman Sniper. Now I'm going to put full links in the description down below so you guys can download them for yourselves. And if you do, I want you to leave a comment down below as to which game you prefer, which you can do here on YouTube, on Google+, or on Twitter at Copper vs Glass. Now if you guys have got any questions about these games or want me to look at any games in the future, again you can leave some comments down below in all the places that I mentioned previously. Now one thing that I would say is both of these games are extremely good, but for me Hitman GO is definitely my favourite game just because it brings a bit more strategy to the game and just in general is a bit more fun than just constantly shooting people, and the fact there's only one map kind of spoils it for me. So guys, if you enjoyed this new format of me reviewing games, be sure to leave a comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, and also if you want to get some more great content in the future like this, then don't forget to subscribe. I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.